Welcome, right in the coop for William Hill. It's a Champions League and playoff final special. Since it's a Champions League, we've got two guys associated with it. Mark Wilson, who's played in the competition. I think you got about 10 minutes when Paul Telfer's boots burst. And Andy McLaren, whose drinking glass was the same size as the Champions League trophy. Welcome on, lads. It's great to have you on.
Cheers, Si.
I want to start with Andy Robertson. What an achievement for a young Scottish boy to go and play in that game on Saturday.
Unreal. I think time's gone by we were used to seeing Scottish players playing that final, you know, at that elite level. But it's been, you know, it's been too few and far between for decades now almost. You know, we've seen Darren Fletcher and the likes at Man United, but for where Andy Robertson's came from, you know, and going through all the right steps to get there, unbelievable. And remember, I had that disappointment when he was at Celtic as a kid and he had to leave and go down to build your way back up, and not just to playing at the top level in this country or in, I mean, the elite level and probably world football. Is remarkable.
Andy, when he was at your old club Dundee United, would you ever think he'd get to that level?
Listen, see, when you look at, see if you wrote that in Roy the Rovers or something, you'd think it's a bit far-fetched, wouldn't you? You know, to go from Queen's Park 5 years ago to playing against Ronaldo in the Champions League final in 5 years, it's incredible. It's probably, must be one of the biggest achievements in football, I would say.
Individual player.
Aye, for an individual player to come to make that jump in 5 years, to go for part-time here, and I mean, I think there was a tweet went out a couple of weeks ago, winter, and it was him 5 years ago saying he was looking for a job.
I seen that.
You know, and to go for there in 5 years, it's all the Rover stuff, innit? Brilliant.
Another Scottish influence is the big, gorgeous Virgil van Dijk. Are you surprised he's at that level as well?
I don't really think so, no. I mean, when he came here, I thought he was outstanding, but the big test was, could he go down to England and do it? I always thought he did have the attributes to do that. I mean, you can say the level you're playing against, okay, isn't the same standard, but if you see a guy with the attributes that he had, you know, good in the air, lightning quick, fitness level, no problem, could drive it with the ball, but could defend, then it makes for a good player anywhere. You know, when you surround him with better players than he's playing with in his career, and you put him in a good team, he's always going to thrive. So I don't think it's any surprise he went to one of the big clubs. You know, he had to obviously take that step to one of the smaller clubs, if you like, in England to get there, but I don't have any doubt. The only thing that surprised you is with the transfer.
The
money,
I
mean, that's a lot of money for a defender, but he's certainly justified it now.
He's made a massive difference to Liverpool since he's been in, Andy, hasn't he?
Aye, of course he has. Listen, when he played up here, there was always that doubt, and can he go down there? But there's that many done that now. It's not that big a shock, is it? You've seen Wanyama's and guys like that. And I thought when Wanyama first came, he was a big raw guy, and then he developed into a player. He looked a player for the minute he came here, didn't he? You know, he came and he strolled it, and he looked a top.
I was there his first day in training, right enough. He was absolutely brutal.
Was he really? No, was he?
I swear, I thought, honestly, this guy's, don't know what his position is, didn't know if he was a centre half, centre mid.
He's probably not with Barryfield or something, you know, he's probably used to getting his
honest to God, I thought,
training centre.
This guy's not going to last. And then when he got put in a game, one of the guys that just came alive.
Strolls it, didn't he?
Good players. The higher up they go, the easier it gets, because you know what it's like. See, when you're playing with good players, the game's easier. You know, it's harder when you're playing with, you know,
guys like me.
You know, Si. I found that the lower level I went down, the harder the game became, because I was used to making runs and playing with guys. I spoke about it yesterday. I was used to playing with guys like Ian Durant and all that, who you'd make a run and they'd find you, you know, and then you'd maybe go down a lower level and you'd make a run and you'd think, how's, you know, so the higher up, I mean, it sounds stupid, but the higher up, the easier it becomes, because you're playing with a better standard of player.
On to Real Madrid. People have said they've been a bit lucky in the competition this season, but for me, they've still got great players there. Are they the favourites going into the game?
Got to be. If you win it twice in a row and you're going for your third, I mean, how often does that happen in the modern day? I mean, we went... exactly. We went, a couple of years, 2 years, 3 years back, and nobody had successfully really defended the trophy. So I think when they've won it twice in another final, I don't think that's luck. All right, they might have got wee breaks here and there, but when you've got the players they have, they've got an unbelievable team at this minute who, I know are full of stars, but the Real Madrid teams in the past had you know, that galactical where everyone was an absolute, you know, world beater. This Real Madrid team have got a few in there. Ronaldo obviously the most, but they've got a right good team spirit, I think. So, nah, no luck about it, and it's going to be difficult for Liverpool. I mean, goals everywhere, it looks like.
Real Madrid better team on paper for you, Andy?
Aye, I think, see for Real Madrid, I think for about September of this year they've put their eggs into that basket, haven't they? Because I think the league was gone for about September. They had a terrible start in La Liga, wasn't they? So that was kind of gone. So I think for maybe September, October, I think, right, because to win it 3 years in the trot, it's never been done, you know, and it hadn't been done 2 years in the trot. So, and see for Real Madrid, I think the Champions League's there. It's the holy grail there, isn't it? You know, the record holders and they just want to keep. I think Champions League means more to them than La Liga.
They're the daddies, isn't they? Yeah. So predictions, what do you think?
I don't know. I've just got this wee thing for Liverpool. I think it's just been magical for Liverpool this season. You know, and Salah, that whole story. I don't know if it's because we're Scottish, we're getting caught up in the Andy Robertson story as well. Don't know. I can see them scoring the right thing. I'm going to say that Liverpool will nick it.
Okay, Andy, what do you think?
I think it could be a 10-21, you know?
It
could be.
It's a game at the park, isn't it?
It could be anything. It could be right. Just going. I'm hoping it's that, because many times you've seen Champions League games and you watch them and it's two teams trying not to get beat. There's no danger this is going to be the case. It's going to be like whoever scores the most, you know. And I hope it's 7-6 or something. It could be, you know. It could be anything, you know. It's one of the games. But no, I think Real Madrid have just got the wee edge, but as you say, it's that wee fairy tale with Andy Robertson in it. I mean, every Scottish guy's wanting Liverpool to win it for that reason.
On to the playoff final in England, the richest game in football, I say. So, the richest guy in Cumbernauld. Well, how do you see it? How do you see it going?
Aye, I wish.
It's no hard, is it?
It's got 50 quid.
Exactly. I know. I don't know. Honestly, I can't call it. I know it's a tough one, but Villa, the club there.
Massive club, eh?
Massive club. You just think they've been languishing a bit for years. Surely this is their chance to get out of that league. It's so difficult to do it enough down there. And that league is such a competitive league. But I just think, I mean, if you're going to get a chance, they'll throw everything at this game. So I think they might nick it this time.
And Andy, the richest guy in your house. Even that. He lives on his own, that's right. Scottish boys, Snodgrass, what in it, Villa, do you fancy them?
I do, because I'm kind of pal with wee Snoddy and that, you know, and you've got that wee attachment to Villa because of that, you know. There's a few Scottish boys down there. So for me, that's why I want Villa to win, because of Snoddy. And see, for me as well, see if you're going to go up the Premiership, that's the way you want to do it, isn't it?
Brilliant, isn't it?
You want to go up via the players, you know. See if you could pick it, you know. I know you want to win. I know you want to win the league, but to get to Wembley and do it that way, I know it puts you behind the 8 ball, but with regards to recruiting for getting into the Premier League, but to go to Wembley and win a playoff,
it's a dream, isn't it? Steve Bruce has obviously got the experience. I think Fulham played a better football, but does that experience for Steve Bruce come into it?
In a playoff game, I'm not sure it does. I think playoff games, like the old cup final thing, I think there's a lot of nerves about the place in a playoff day. We've seen them in the past, the slightest thing can decide it, so I'm not too sure how much Steve Bruce's experiences are going to come in to it. And it's hard, I think, as a manager to sometimes put the experiences into 11 players who are basically, you know, nerves are high in a situation like that, so much at stake. So I don't know how much that's going to come into it.
And who do you think would add more to the Premier League and out the two teams?
Well, Villa are a bigger club, aren't they? But the boy Jukanovic has
done a great job, hasn't he?
But he's some record the past 3-4 years. I mean, he took Watford up. He took Watford up, didn't he? And then left. And then he went to Fulham last year. I think they were struggling. And then what a run they went on. I think they just missed out in the playoffs last year. So they're going about experience, but he's done it in that league for the last 3 or 4 years. You know, he done it. He took a Watford team that weren't expected to do anything and took them up. And then I don't know what happened, but he never went and managed them in a league. So, I mean, he's got experience in that league and how to win games, because his record the past 3-4 years in that league is phenomenal.
Two Scottish boys as well, Kearney and McDonald in that Fulham team as well. So whatever team goes up, we'll have a couple of Scottish boys in the Premier League as well.
I think that's always good. See, the more our players are represented, you know, in that league. I think it's only good for us. I said about Andy in the Champions League. It's been years since, you know, since guys, older generation, my dad and all that shit.
Me?
Premier League. Aye, you, Andy, aye.
I'm not your dad,
Says,
I know.
All the Scottish, I know, with that grey hair. But the amount of Scottish players that were playing in the main league and playing in the European Cup finals were huge, you know, back when I was a kid or younger, not even born, sorry. So the more of them in the league, the better.
Okay, and who do you fancy for this game?
Me, I'm going to go for Villa. I think Villa, just with the size of club they are, I think with the players they've got, will have enough. And I think they'll be the ones that are probably most welcome back to the Premier League, just because of the stadium and all that and everything, their history. I think that'd be a better fit.
Andy?
Villa. It's emotional attachment as well with wee Snoddy boys like that. So I want him to win for that reason.
Right, okay, mate. On to the Coombe. We're going to do a first goal scorer and win for each game. So we'll start with the Champions League final. What do you fancy?
I'll go for, I tell you what, I'm going to go for Ronaldo to score the first goal, but Liverpool to win the game. I think Liverpool, remember them, when was that, a good few years ago?
Milan,
Milan, they came back. I'm going to go for that.
Okay, and Andy?
See, I love the boy. See, Salah got all the credit, but the boy Firmino for me is a top player.
Great team.
Aye, great. No, but I think he's kind of no flew under the radar, but Salah seems to have took all the credit, and Firmino's a top player. So I'm going to go Firmino first goal, and I'm going to go Real Madrid one.
Oh yes, love that. And playoff final predictions.
I think it might go the distance.
Extra time.
I think it might go extra time.
Is that a 0-0 or will there be a first scorer?
You know what? I'm going to go for a 0-0. I think a lot of these games...
I'll not be watching that.
I know. No, but ending penalties, how do you like that
I'll
one?
watch the penalties.
Aye, there you go.
Okay.
I think the excitement might boil into that.
So a 0-0, right? Okay. And Snodgrass first scorer?
Aye, I'm going to go Snoddy first goal in Villa.
Villa.
Aye.
Lads, thanks very much.
Cheers, Si.
Cheers, Si.